Caleb here, 102.5 FM. Good morning to you. It's Wednesday. It's time for community conversations, and we have Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott in the studio with us, as he always joins us the first Wednesday of every month. But he has brought with him today the Jonesboro Fire Chief, Mr. Kevin Miller, and so we want to thank both of you gentlemen for being here today. So how are you doing today, Chief Elliott and Chief Miller?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
All right, doing good. Now, both of you gentlemen actually have something in common besides being chiefs. Both of you all are currently hiring for your respective departments. Of course, the police testing, you've heard the announcement here on KOEK. The police testing is September 17th. Applications are due by 5 p.m. on September 15th. So, Chief Miller, let's start with you. Talk about the Jonesboro Fire testing coming up. When is it, and what do you need qualified to become a firefighter?
All right, yes, it's that time of year again. We have this annually. The actual test is going on November 15th. We will be taking applications that can be picked up at City Hall Human Resource Department starting September 12th. And that will go through, I think, October 14th is when we'll be taking applications. The basic qualifications are pretty simple. One, you have to be 21 age. You have to have a valid driver's license, be a U.S. citizen, and have no felony convictions. There's also one other caveat. We are under civil service, state service law. So you have to be at least 21, you cannot be older than 34. So there's a maximum age that applies to this one.
Okay, and what are some of the benefits, like the salary and other benefits that are offered by the fire department?
With our department offers a compensation package. The starting pay is $30,800 a year. It also is entitled to city insurance, health insurance, dental insurance. You also earn vacation, sick time comparatively as you go through your time. You will be placed on what is known as the state lottery pension system, which is for firefighters and police officers. It's separate from Social Security. It's not part of Social Security. So it's an independent state-funded pension system for police officers and firefighters.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about the actual hiring process. You know, with the police department, they have a physical test, and then a written test, and they have the background investigation, and then there's some other steps involved. What are the steps for the hiring process for firefighters? Very
similar. It starts off with a written test, which is going to be on November 7th. Those that pass the written test will then come back the following week for a physical agility test. But this test is based on a component of firefighting activities. You don't have to have any previous firefighting experience. It's very generic. But you have to go through an obstacle course performing these basic maneuvers in a time. It's simply a pass or fail. If you pass, then you're placed on the eligibility list, so from 1 to ever how many pass based on the written score. Under civil service, we can take from the top 3 candidates. So I have one opening. The top 3 candidates are then come in for an interview process. We can background check, checking the references, and if one of those is subsequently selected, they are then moved on to the next step, which consists of a polygraph examination and a medical physical. If they pass those, then subsequently they're hired.
Okay, and what about the actual training, as far as like going to a fire academy to learn the skills for the job?
Every firefighter that's hired has to go through what's called Basic Firefighter 1 and 2 standards, which is performed at the Arkansas Fire Academy, Camden, Arkansas. It consists of a EMT course, a Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, and driver operator standard. It's a 15-week course that they go through over the course of their first couple of months that they get hired. Every firefighter has to go through that process.
So after that, kind of like the department, is there further in-house training, like in field, I guess? I know what police is called field training officer, field firefighting officer.
Once they come in, everybody's on a 1-year probation. Once they reach graduate from the academy, they come back and then they start our training process. The academy's going to give them the basics, and once they get the particular knowledge, then we come back and incorporate them into our rules, our procedures, our techniques, and how we operate and how we work with our procedures. And that is an ongoing process. That really never stops. We train constantly. It doesn't matter if you've been there 1 year or 20 years. We have training requirements that have to be done daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. So that is going to be an ongoing process for the rest of your career.
Okay, so typically that there is nothing for you all to do. You all just kind of sit around the firehouse.
Sit around, play checkers, play Xbox. Yes.
No,
that's the impression. Yes.
But that does not happen.
We actually do a lot of activities throughout the year and throughout the week. And one of the biggest things that we see that people may encounter us most often is we go out and do business inspections.
Okay.
Every business in the city of Jonesboro will receive a fire inspection. So the units go out every year to do and perform those. And there are roughly over 3,500 businesses in the city of Jonesboro that are inspected on an annual basis.
Yep, I know because they've been by here.
Yes, more likely you're going to see them at least once a year. So we perform those regularly. We also perform hydrant inspections. Every fire hydrant in the city of Jonesboro also has to go out and be checked and tested annually.
Okay.
So you'll see fire trucks out sometimes checking the fire hydrants. We perform numerous public safety functions, what we call show and tells.
Okay.
We go to various schools, civic groups, church groups. Sometimes they come to the fire station. We perform tours. Sometimes we go to them and perform safety talks. We are very, very big on trying to promote public safety as far as fire education, fire prevention, especially to the younger community.
Okay, I do have a question. We were talking earlier before we got on air about the meeting last night, how it got kind of over capacity. How does it work when you have to go in and you see a function that's possibly over capacity? Does someone
Like the city council meeting last night.
does someone make a report to you, or do you just like pop up in places?
Well, sometimes, most of the time, it's something that's reported. Now,
Okay.
every business, every building, even your building here, has a limited capacity based on what it's designed for. You can have so many people in the building according to what it's designed for.
Okay.
And those numbers vary from a small building from 10 people to 1,000 to 10,000, like on case.
Okay.
So it really depends on the building. But yes, every building has a maximum capacity. The most common thing you see it with is going to be restaurants
Okay.
and churches, those things.
Okay.
But if we get for lack of a better word, a location that maybe there's too many people in a particular building, yes, then we will go out to that particular building and we'll have to assess how many people are in it. Last night, for example, we weren't really sure how many people were there, so we were anticipating a crowd. So we had our marshals there at locations to basically literally count heads as they're coming to count off the heads. The maximum capacity for that room is around 100 people.
Okay.
We exceeded that very quickly.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we had to hold other people out. We try to set up basic guidelines. If you're inside, if someone leaves, we allow the next person to come in. If someone comes out, someone else can go in.
Okay.
But we will do this periodically for other businesses if we get a request or if we have an indication that maybe a building is operating beyond its capacity.
Okay.
Chief Miller, I have a question from Facebook going back to the hiring of firefighters. This person wants to know, what is the retirement plan?
The retirement plan under LOCKE is there's basically a couple of qualifications. You have to work at least 28 years or be age 55 to even be eligible. So it's a 28-year retirement plan. Or age 55, whichever comes first, they're eligible. Your retirement at that point is based on the number of years that you work. For example, if you've served 20 years, you're eligible to retire at that point. It's broken down to a factor of like 2.9% a year that you've retired, that you work. So if you work 20 years, roughly 50% of your pay, and whatever your average of the pay was at the time that you retired. They have a mathematical system working out for it, but 28 years or age 55 is the two main factors.
All right, go ahead and bring in Chief Elliott. We don't want him to feel left out in this conversation.
It's good to bring Chief Miller into the fire department because that is a whole new perspective of public safety that we have addressed, and it's good that we bring it in.
All right, so now let's talk about police testing. We've talked about firefighting testing, so now go ahead and plug police testing.
Well, absolutely. Again, as you said, we're testing on the 17th of September, and the application deadline is Thursday before at 5 o'clock. Same qualifications, but you have to be 21 years old, no felony record. We have a physical test, a written test. We go through a background process after that, which includes polygraph, drug screen, and medical. And completing on that, then you're on the eligibility list. The sad thing is, we go through a lot of applicants to get just very to choose from. So we we do have a tough screening process in both departments. There are not many fire departments that polygraph their applicants, but we feel like that what the applicants that we get has been thoroughly checked and has good background coming to do that service.
All right, Chief Elliott, we just recently had a graduation of 12 officers. Some of them have been here in the studio before. It was the most diverse class of applicants ever. Now they are in the field doing field training. So how are they progressing?
Well, so far so good. They've got about a week out in the cars, and all indications that they're adapting very well to the field training officer program. So we'll see. They have 3 months of it to see how they progress the process. But yes, it was a very diverse group, and we think that in part by just efforts that we made here on Kelly, coming out to the community, and I think our attempt to be more diverse and try to attract more minorities has paid off and is paying off, and obviously we're going to continue through this process and future processes. And if there's anything else we can do to further reach out for some of the avenue that we're missing besides radio and social media, then we're certainly like to look at it, because there's people out there that may have a suggestion for me. But as we go out and do different talks and forums around the community, sometimes I think it's sparks some interest from somebody like that.
Okay.
So I think just getting out in the community, getting involved, and it's kind of paying off.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Just to say, we're speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick and Jonesboro Fire Chief Kevin Miller.
Okay. My question is, first of all, the police department has just started another round of Citizens Academy classes, and I wanted to also ask Chief Miller, does the fire department do something similar, or do you have plans?
Because I'm signed up with him. I'm a CPA, so I find firefighting to be interesting, just like police work. So if it's a CFA, I would definitely sign up.
We have discussed it, Mary. We are looking at the logistics for it. Being able to we might be able to simulate some things, but we don't necessarily the sources that they have at the state fire academy down here. We something look at the regional training site here in Jonesboro that we use. That's something we're looking at, but it's a part of it is the logistics of being able to do it.
Okay.
Well, as Chief Miller has more information on that, we bring that to and it's definitely something that I know I would participate in. I'm sure
everyone wants to play fireman.
So, Chief Elliott, can you tell us about the new class?
Oh, absolutely. It's we've reached capacity on the class. We're up to 37 in this class, so we've maxed out the training room capacity, and we did have our first session started on Thursday night. The second one begins tomorrow night. So everybody seems excited, and we've got a good group. And we'll just see what we think. And I think probably during this process, I'll find some of these academy students and bring with me on the show.
We would definitely love to hear from them.
Phone lines open at 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. We're speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and Jonesboro Fire Chief Kevin Miller. If you have a question for either gentleman, you can call in and ask. You can also post your question on our live stream. We're streaming live on Facebook, and we're also streaming live on YouTube. All right. Of course, in the news is the current situation with police pay. Last night they had the city council meeting. First reading of the plan which you have put forth, Chief Elliott, for the step raises for the police department. The many members of the police department, as well as Citizens Police Academy and citizens, were in the council chambers in support of the plan. So just want to kind of get your thoughts on how that's progressing.
Well, back in May, Public Safety Committee put together a police subcommittee to look at salary issues and try to come up with a plan. And part of this plan process is we were going to step raises put in. As you know, in the current system, there's each salary position in the whole city has a starting point, a midpoint, and a maximum point for that salary. But there was not really a defined path on how to get there. So we came up with a plan to take a step raise, and then we tried to bring the whole overall system up because of we're having retention issues and recruiting issues. We addressed both together in a plan and presented to the Public Safety Committee. They forwarded on to the Finance Committee, which was full council last night. council brought the ordinance on, read it at first reading and held it to further readings. So by law, they can stretch it out to 3 readings, or they can do it once, they declare an emergency and pass it once. But this was not declared as an emergency issue, so they had read it once and had it on the next meeting. Now also, past few days, other departments in the city agree with the step plan. That's a good thing for everybody. And I think after talking to Mr. Dover last night, I think that is something that they'd like to implement citywide. So putting a hold on this, it gives them a chance to go back and look at everything and maybe kind of come up with a comprehensive plan for the whole city and address everything all at once. So we shall see what with in the next few weeks, next meeting, because items on the agenda, it can either be pulled down or it'll go through, unless there's something else that's better out there.
Chief Miller, what are your thoughts on this? Are you in the process of working on a similar plan for firefighters?
Yes, that's something absolutely we'll be looking at, obviously. Now, they were very optimistic when basically discussed last night trying to create a STEP program for all city employees. So is that something that everyone's interested in and would like to be able to see how that's going to play out? Yes, absolutely. Firefighters are going to be looking at that aspect and would like to see what's going to become available and what we'll discuss and create over the next couple of weeks.
I do have a question concerning that. The last time this issue came up, there were some officers that were quite upset, and they did the whole protest thing with leaving their cars in City Hall. Do you anticipate any more reaction?
Well,
Something of that nature, I would hope not. I was very, very pleased on those actions. It's not the way to handle the situation. I understand the frustration, but was not with them doing that. Kind of put me in a position, and it caused some of them to have some disciplinary action taken against them. They were supervisors. This is not the way that we need to do business. But again, I do understand the frustration. This has been an ongoing battle for years in the city with police and fire, and through the history, I guess the time I've been here and Chief's been here, this issue has been brought up, and they've had companies come in and look at assets. And the problem is, after it's been addressed, then the system wasn't constantly reevaluated and tweaked, you might say, to keep up. So it just kind of became stagnant, and then the further we go down the line, everybody's back off the scale where we're not in that competitive market anymore. So that's what we're trying to get at. We want to be competitive in what we're doing, because fire departments starting to say the same things we are as far as recruiting. Not many people be a fireman anymore. It's like they don't be a policeman anymore. So they're starting to see some of the recruiting pains that we're seeing. So when I speak to the chief, I would say the same thing, that this would be another perk or benefit to attract and to retain what we do have in place.
Okay. Chief Miller, how long have you been with the Jonesboro Fire Department?
I've been with Jonesboro Fire Department coming up on 28 years.
Oh,
so you're almost at retirement yourself.
Technically, yes. I'm not planning on it anytime soon. But,
Okay.
yes, but I've been with the fire department for 28 years. I've been the fire chief for almost 5 years.
Okay. Now, how many openings? I know you all are taking up. How many openings would you say you have?
Right now, at this moment, we have no openings.
Oh, no openings. Okay.
We have 0 openings. We are just, matter of fact, we just hired someone that started just a couple of days ago on purpose for an opening. Now, also what I didn't mention is under the civil service process, you're ranked on this list. That list is good for 1 full year.
Okay.
So it goes into effect after everything's calculated at the end of the year, and it's good for 1 year. So we're still working off this current hiring list. So if we have another opening, we can bring someone off the list. So this new list will be good for 1 full year.
Okay.
This year, I think, we're 9 months into the year, and we've hired 8 people. So it's all 8 people in the last 9 months.
And how many openings do you, Chief Elliott?
Presently, we have 1. The lieutenant retired the other day, and so It's his third time, and he got his retirement in, but he also got a teaching job at the police academy over in Pocahontas. So it's a big plus for him. We hate to see him go, but for the police academy, it's a huge benefit.
Speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and Jonesboro Fire Chief Kevin Miller, phone lines are still open at 870-277-1080. If you have any comments, we're also streaming live on Facebook. This is Community Conversations. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
When we come back, we can lighten up the mood.
Yeah,
This is usually
an hour.
I stay the full
Stay at home.
I've got 10 minutes. I've got no interested. We're going to write right for that evening meeting.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
And I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, no
Anything
problem.
we can do to get the word out, this is awesome.
Just that piece of paper, that's got my ears. Okay, we'll get that and we'll get the announcement.
Yes.
Richard,
The best
information.
Oh yeah, Chief's already getting our emails and texts.
Yeah, that's the first thing this morning.
Sat around on the floor, played
Bill, coming on, Kelly?
Well, I think it helps because we
look back.
don't have anybody watching live. We had about 5 people watching it early.
Picture from long ago. Maybe you can take that idea of that
No, that's nice. Things pop up, it's not count on anybody else. Sometimes you.
I know some of them we never talk about.
Okay, all right, Chief Miller. Okay, in order to get the text, I need you to send a text to this number.
What's the
22-300.
family minutes is made possible.
Fire safety, might coming up there.
That's probably should say October Fire Prevention Month. That would be working something
That'd be a good time.
in. So what do I need to do?
Okay, go to compose text. Like go to compose a new text.
I'm gonna talk about the 911.
Okay, the number's 22-300.
Run that's coming up.
300.
And then just type the word alert.
There's I saw the flyer in the city page.
No, alert. ALERT. And hit send.
Okay.
Okay, and that's your cell right there.
That's our office number.
Okay, so what's the cell? So you get the text.
Have you participated in that? Did you mention it? No. Will be.
Things don't let me run.
Now that.
Now, us is.
I don't mind you have, that's my personal.
Well, no, we don't give it out. No, we don't give it away. This is
Alright.
this is just for us.
Yeah. If you need a whole bunch of something, just wait till it.
Yeah, 102.5 FM, and we're back on Community Conversations with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and the Jonesboro Fire Chief Kevin Miller on for a couple more minutes, and he has to go step out and handle some more business. So before you leave, Chief Miller, once again, let the listeners know about the fire department testing.
We will be testing for the position of firefighter coming up after the first Saturday in November. We're going to start taking applications September 12th. Those applications can be picked up at City Hall and Research Department Church. The test is a written test. If you pass the written test, you come back and follow the physical agilities test. At that point, you're put on a ranking list, and as we have openings, we call in the candidates, we interview them. Potential candidates would go through a polygraph and a medical physical, and so we hired. Then upon that, they would have to complete the Arkansas Fire Training Academy course, which consists of a 50 course from firefighter 1 and 2 and teachers.
All right, and once again, we have the information. So if you're interested in becoming a member of the Jonesboro Fire Department, contact them, get that application in, and you can be one of Jonesboro's finest. We want to thank Chief Miller for stopping. So whoever might stop by anytime. He said earlier that he wasn't very talkative, but we said we get about 30 minutes out of him.
We appreciate it. We're trying to get our numbers up. Over the last few years, we've steadily seen the number of applicants line. We're used to getting 82. The last few years, we've been 40 applying for those applicants. So our numbers have been in the last few years, so we're trying to be able to put those numbers back up to be able to get good quality candidates.
And of course, just like the trying to help to increase the diversity, so women and minorities are
Absolutely.
all right. Well, once we want to Chief Miller.
It's not often that we get out and meet people like this on this kind of conference. No one ever calls 911 to say everything's okay. So I appreciate the opportunity to come here where everything's fine and there's no problems.
Thank you so very much.
All right, Elliott, let's get into some positive things, and I'll let Kabila talk about the story of a young child who unfortunately passed away, but before he passed away, he was able to get a very special wish of his fulfilled.
I ran across the story on KIV, and I thought it was just really touching, and I really want you, Elliott, to elaborate more on the story. So those of you who are sensitive, get you some tissues, because this is a really touching and beautiful story.
It is a great story, and I am so proud that I was part of it and part of it. Back last November, October area, Officer Department encountered a family that had a couple of foster children in the family, and one of the children involved had a very serious medical condition, and this child was not going to be around very long. And this is a condition that the child had his entire life. This wish was to be a police officer. So our detectives that was working the case and involved this family saw this child and talked to him about his wish, and they began to put together plans that we're going to bring in and make him an honorary police officer. And we got hooked up with the Major Foundation because part of his dream is also to go to Disney. So during this process that we were setting this up, his condition worsened all of a sudden and became very critical and fearful that the child wouldn't make it much longer. So we scrambled around and got things together pretty quick, and while he was in the ER, and I really expected to make it past the ER that day, we brought in Circuit Judge Brent Davis and myself and the officers of the department and Sheriff Boyd, and went to the ER and we sworn him in as an honorary police officer. So we all gathered around, of course, had this picture made, and while I was in the ER, he had expressed interest about wanting to see one of the police dogs. And again, we didn't know if the dog was going to make it out of the ER that day, so we convinced staff to let us wheel him out to the parking lot and let him visit the dog, since they didn't want to bring a dog inside the hospital. So we got to visit the police dog, and that helped him out. Fortunately, the child got out of the ER that day and made a turnaround. And so with him turning around and starting a little bit better, we continued our plan on furthering his police officer education. So we took a day and brought him in like we would any new recruit. We brought him in early one morning, and we had a special uniform made for him. Had a name on it and had a badge, and he had to go through police training. So we took a day and started him out with new recruit training, and during that phase of training, he had to go out to the range and shoot. He shot one of our officers took him, and he went through a qualification course that they designed for him, and he shot his target and made his qualification scores. He came back that afternoon, and he was assigned his first criminal case to work as an investigator would. And through the course of the afternoon, he developed a suspect in the case. He found where the local suspect was, and he and other officers went and found the suspect, which was an elf. And ended up locating the elf, and the elf fled the vehicle. They got after him, got the vehicle stopped, and Thomas made the arrest of the suspect, and we loaded up and headed downtown to go before Judge Blackman. We arrived at the police station. Officers from both shifts, day shift and evening shift, and even officers off duty, were at the station, lined up in front of the building, formed two lines, and we pulled up with our suspect, and Thomas got out of the suspect, walked through the line of officers into the courtroom with Judge Blackman. Of course, people around the community knew what was going on, and the courtroom was packed.
Oh, wow.
So Judge Blackman did what the judge on a typical criminal case, and at the end, he asked Thomas did he have a wish. and, you know, said someday he'd like to go Disney. And just your wishes coming true.
Oh, wow.
So from that point, the Mesh Foundation had set up in our training room at the PD. They had their banners and wallpaper up with a Disney theme, and they had backpacks and all kinds of things from Disney set aside for Thomas and his other siblings and his family. And he got to fulfill this wish to make it to Disney back last December.
That is wonderful.
And this child, through all of this, and again, wasn't expected to live past, you know, November, December. He made it on through the months, and even started back to school, and just had passed away just about a week ago.
Okay. I know a lot of the officers were probably just beside themselves because over the course of this time you have become attached to him, and seeing his spirit, I'm sure, sparked something within the other officers that were directly involved with him.
I'm sure he was an inspiration to them all.
Well, I mean, he was. I mean, you know, he looked at this young man that suffered so much. Again, he was in foster care. He had this issue that, you know, he wasn't going to live to be adult age. And this is something we could do to make his dream come true. And we did. And so, you know, at the funeral, we gave him full police honors at the funeral. Flag draped coffin, 21 guns, light taps. So it was a touching moment. The police escort to the cemetery, as we would any of our brother officers that, you know, that would be arrested.
That's wonderful. So I would love to encourage more people to get involved with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. You never know who's life you can touch and make a difference in. I mean, this is probably, of course, I'm not a doctor or a guide, but I'm sure being involved with you all and the gifts you gave him, not the physical gifts, but the gifts that you gave him.
The experience.
Yes, the experience. It probably prolonged his life a little. He fought a little harder to keep going.
I think so, but you know what's just as important, what he gave us. You see this young man and what he has gone through and what he gave us in return, something we'll never forget. I mean, you think, sometimes we think that, you know, we have troubles in life, and you should take a look at somebody else and the troubles they go through, and there's no comparison. And you just by the grace of God, sometimes as a thought, and so we get through it. But you know, I think in this case that I mean, God probably stepped in and helped this child out to get a little bit further, and has subsequently taken him into His arms up in heaven. And
now he's policing the streets of he's already got his training. So, you know, he's head of the police officer.
You know, he's among many up there, and they'll take care of him.
Yes, sir.
And I know I said we're going to lighten the mood. I'm sorry, but this is such a beautiful story that I felt just had to be shared. That the citizens and those that are listening and watching, they need to know that the police do more than just police. They patrol.
And that's why we wanted this City Police Academy. There is so much more that these officers do that go unrecognized day in and day out. It may be buying diapers, it may be buying milk for a family that on the call they just left. And we.
All right, you too.
Okay.
And once again, phone lines open at 870-277-1080. If you want to have a question or comment for Chief Elliott, once again, the phone number is 870-277-1080. You can also post on our live stream on Facebook.
And okay. We're going to switch it up a little bit, dry eyes, everyone. There is an event coming up. I don't know if it's called the 9.11 miles or 911 miles. It's a run.
Right.
It's coming up on Sunday, September 11th, and it's going to be at the old ASU track next to the Convocation Center. There's one at 6 a.m., a run at 6 a.m. and a run at 5 p.m. Would you like to give us some more details on that?
Really don't have more than what you have on that of those events.
Okay.
This coming Sunday, there are a lot of memorial events taking place around the city. We have churches.
To learn more information on how you can membership, go to the City of Jonesboro's Facebook page, look for the flyer, and all the information is located there.
That is correct. And that's a great event, and I'm so proud to hear that they're doing this in memory of Brian. And Brian was one of my police reserve officers
Okay.
and one of my SWAT paramedics. He served full-time with the Memphis Fire Department as a paramedic, and he also worked his part-time hours as a paramedic service here in Jonesboro. He did a lot of volunteer things throughout the community, and Make-A-Wish was one of his big, he and his wife, the big events they were always involved in. So Brian constantly gave this community 24/7. He was very dedicated to our community, but the city of Memphis and what he did in his services and his work. And unfortunately, he died in an accident up at Lake Norfolk a few months ago. And but again, we're just so proud that they're doing this in recognition of Brian and Special Olympics. You know, speaking of Special Olympics, that is another organization that the police department's involved in quite a bit. You know, law enforcement across the country take up Special Olympics and help these special athletes fulfill their dreams of having their own Olympics. And we do participate in the torch run all across the nation, the National Law Enforcement Torch Run for all these special athletes, including here in our area. And officers of the police department, the sheriff's office, and probation patrol, and state police, all law enforcement around participating in our Special Olympics and the fundraisers for Special Olympics throughout the year. In fact, as the fundraisers come up for the Special Olympics, we'll do some advertisement here on KLEK and get that word out because we want folks to come out and support it. But when it's time when they hold their annual game, it's law enforcement that participates in the games with them, starting with bringing the torch into the stadium and lighting the thing with these special athletes. They go through their series of games, and then it's law enforcement that is the athletes on their special day. So once again, you know, law enforcement steps up to the plate and you know, folks that are in need and that are very special to the community. And this is something that's been done for many years. And sometimes it goes recognized, sometimes it goes unrecognized. But, you know, this is just part of what we do in public service. You know, these men live in this department, they enjoy getting out and trying to make a difference in the community that they serve.
And if you go on the Jonesboro Police Department Facebook page, you can, I'm assuming you're looking at that profile picture.
Yeah.
So that's Chris. I was just about to mention that. If you go on the on the Jonesboro Police Department Facebook page, you'll see Officer Chris Jefferson. They call him Face of JPD because they always go back to that same profile picture. But Officer Jefferson is a black police officer. In the picture, he is with a young lady and he is holding her hand while she holds the torch. So that just kind of like an example of what she was talking about.
That's right, and that's like I said, that's on the day when they're lighting a flame, the torch is passed off to several athletes, and it goes down to where the big torch is and being lit.
So are there any other upcoming events or anything else that the police department is involved with, the community needs to know about?
Well, this time of year, it's there's a lot of fall festival type activities that are starting to take place, and some of them will be at work security or provide traffic control. We have an event called Touch a Truck that's coming up in September out of Indianapolis Hospital.
What's it called, sir?
Touch a Truck.
Touch a Truck.
Oh,
Shop with a Cop.
Shop with a Cop will be closer to Christmas time. I think a room that the local fraternal order participates in along with the local Rotary Club. We take privileged children. They get to ride with the police officer in the police car, and Rotary Club gives them money and a gift card. And that child gets to go shopping for his or her Christmas gifts, or wherever he wants to spend that money.
okay.
But again, that is a community or a bonding time with that officer to go take a ride in the car and go out to one of the local stores and do this and then come back and then have lunch.
Okay. Well, no, you're ready for break here soon. But if you well, elaborate more on the touch truck, because I haven't actually heard of that. I'd love to know more about that.
The breakers got 1 second. So we're speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott. This is community conversation on KLK 102.5. A call or a comment. Phone number is 70277. I guess when we get close.
In the hot seat, lives in court. How do you handle, like, what is the attitude towards a woman?
It tarnishes the badge. I mean, that's essentially what it boils down to. You know, that's kind of the worst thing you can do because it causes problems for everybody. I mean, when you have
Better than today's climate.
well, absolutely. I mean, you get somebody does something that's criminal like that, especially like in this rape case. You know, it's unspeakable, and the fact that they're in a position of authority and they betray the public's trust, then whatever he gets in court, so be it. And that's typically courts will be a lot harsher on penalties because they are held to a higher expectation than an average citizen.
When he was found guilty, I know this is a lawyer question, he's guilty on some, not guilty on others. Some of the guilty ones were like 30 years, here 20 years, I'm like, he's never gonna get out of
And
this.
they shouldn't.
And he's not going to be treated very nicely.
And it should. I mean, it's every time somebody tarnishes the badge anywhere in the country, it has repercussions all the way across because people go, well, there you go. This guy in Oklahoma's doing that. Hey, look, what y'all doing here in Jonesboro? I mean,
Well,
so we don't want.
but luckily that didn't happen here.
Well, and again, if anything like it does, then we would certainly deal with it. Get rid of it. Because
And we're back on community conversation on KLK 2.5 FM. We have Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott in the studio with us. And before we break, we were talking about trucks. So, Chief, I know on the break we were looking up some more information about that.
yeah, I didn't bring the date with me, but it is the event that's coming up at Indiana Campus Hospital. It's coming up in the month of September. And I believe we'll get the date too so we can get out to listeners. But essentially on this event, we'll have kind of heavy equipment come out to the parking lot of Indiana Baptist. You'll have bulldozers, excavators, large work equipment. You'll have fire trucks. You'll have police cars, the dare car, the canines. A lot of kids nowadays. You look at these big equipment items, and they're fascinated with it. When we were growing up, we played with trucks and things like that. So, these kids come out and climb on equipment and look at it in person, and essentially touch it and experience it firsthand. So they can all these vehicles will be set up. They can spend the day out there just going around looking, and of course, the people running the equipment will be there to explain things to them. So it's a great event that's coming up and gives these kids a chance to do some firsthand.
Do they get on like hard hat or anything of that nature?
I'm sure that, in the fire and the helmets and things like that, they just certain things they allow them to do.
Okay.
But again, we'll have 4 different vehicles from the police department participating.
Okay.
But again, we'll get that date back over here and get it out to you, and hopefully we'll run some PSAs on that coming up event.
That'd be awesome.
All right, Chief, you have been chief of Jonesboro Police Department for 2 years now, and you definitely have done a great job as chief as far as reaching out to the community and all the things that you have done. I just want to say, on behalf of the listeners, thank you for all that you've done. But I have to put this out there. This is an election year, and one of the races is the mayoral race, and there are 6 people running, and there's a chance that a new mayor could come into office, and appoint a new chief. And does that cross your mind? And if that were to happen, what would you do next? Would you go fishing? Would you still stay on the department, or what would you do?
Well, I mean, essentially, I guess if I got replaced, then I'll have to find something else to do. But, you know, I've been involved in public service 35 years, and, you know, I don't anticipate giving this a service yet. So, I came in this office, you know, knowing that there's a risk of an election that somebody could want to put somebody else different in. But,
Well, it's my hope whoever wins that they keep you in that
well, I
position.
appreciate that. I hope so too, because, you know, I continue to building what we've already started building in the last 2 years, and I don't want to see things stop or be carried on because, you know, we have made some headways, and we still have a ways to go. You know, it's one step at a time.
I know we're supposed to be impartial, but I'm glad that Gansey said it first. I would really love to see you stay in position and continue to grow the department and continue to add more and more activities that connect the community with the police
I
department
appreciate that.
and expand on the positivity. Yes, expand the positivity.
Now, I will say this, and again, like you know, we're not going to endorse nor support any candidate, but you know, when you go into the booth to make your decision on the mayor, city council, all these other races, these are things that you keep in mind that these people who are put in these positions will elect the people that will be on his or her team to lead the city, lead the state, even lead the country. So if you want things to go in a certain direction, no matter what that direction is, keep that in mind when you make your choice for whoever you vote for, whoever it is.
Yes, most definitely.
That's good.
I know that I want to flip the script a little bit. I know there are officers injured all the time, but there was one injured, Jonathan. Was that Jonathan? Oh,
Jonathan Higgins?
yes. No, not Higgins. I'm sorry, not Jonathan. So,
Well, he may not even be allowed to give the name because maybe a personnel
well,
matter.
I'm sorry.
So maybe
His
insurance.
name is not Jonathan. I apologize.
Well, we've
But
had several injured, but go ahead.
it was very hard for though. It was a hot topic. It was a hot
Well,
topic.
suspect was thrown out the back window.
Yes. So, how's the officer doing?
He's great. He is back on duty. He
Okay.
suffered a slight concussion.
Okay.
So, yeah, he very fortunate young man. If you see the car, he crushed inside the car, and
Justin.
it's Justin.
Yes, the video was posted on KT where you could.
Well, the video is worldwide at this point. So
Yes, it is.
we had TV from Japan called a week or so ago requesting video. So it is gone viral, as you said.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's amazing. See this suspect get tossed out the window, runs through the glass, gets up and runs, and the officers have to chase him down and arrest him. You know, I would think that if you get thrown out of a car window, it'd be too injured to run.
Well, one would think so. And he had scratches on his face. So he got out of the deal. But he was both people were very fortunate to be out there walking after crashes as it was.
Do you see many officer? I know you don't want to see any, but many officer injuries, like on the job injuries.
Well, absolutely. I mean, and that was part of our problem this past year. We had several officers that had injuries that kept them off the job for several weeks, or actually several months in some cases. We had officers that had knee injuries.
Wow.
So that, along with people quitting, that put us short, and so it put a stress on our manpower issues. But yeah, part of it is, there's a lot of physical activity involved, and we have various injuries throughout the year. And it's, every couple of weeks somebody's getting hurt.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes it's minor, and sometimes it can be severe, and they're off for extended periods of time. It's just what they face, that breaks and cuts, bruises.
Well, no one else gets severely hurt anytime soon, and we really do appreciate all the work that the Jonesboro Police Department is doing for the citizens of Jonesboro and Craig County.
Thank you.
So do you work directly with the sheriff's? We've never really talked about how you work with the sheriff's department.
Well, sure. I mean, we work together, obviously, with the sheriff, state police, probation bureau, and fire department. I mean, day to day, with fire department, we have accident scenes with police involved. Fire department responds along with ambulance. They're first responders, and as Chief Miller said, we got guys on the GMT side, so a lot of times they get on scene before the ambulance. So it is hand-in-hand operation with everybody involved, law enforcement, medical, and fire, day in and day out.
Well, just like if a house catches fire, the police officers will, track away from the
That's right.
fire. So, that's another way in which they work together.
That we support each other and you have to just far as the process.
All right, Chief, we got 2 minutes left, so once again, let the listeners know about police testing, Citizens Police Academy, Session 4, and even Session 5 coming up next year.
5 coming up in January, and again, we're testing on September 7th. Get those applications in on Thursday before that at about 5 o'clock. And information's on the website. Applications can be downloaded on the website. Testing requirements, all that information is out there on our police department website. Yes, the police academy has already started for the fall session, but we'll be conducting another session coming up in January. So if you're interested in this program, you can go ahead and start applying now.
It does fill up fast.
It's fill up fast, and I think we have some on the waiting list at this point that will be moved over to the January session.
Why don't you sign now?
Okay. We will run these sessions right now. The intent is at least twice a year. We will look at a summer session if there's enough need for one.
Okay.
All right, once again, we want to thank Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott for stopping by the studio today. He stops by the first Wednesday of each month to talk to you as citizens about Jonesboro Police Department and to take your questions and your calls, because in order to have a better community, it's all about engagement. It's about talking to the community. Like Chief likes to say, talking to each other and not at each other.
Amen.
Thank you for listening. This is Community Conversations, and this is KLEK on 2.5 FM.
All right.